Welcome, everybody. It's some of your favorite Jackbox Games HQ members, and we're here today to talk about something absolutely not at all related to our work. So stick around.
Or
this is going to be that's a great question.
It's time to reveal CJ is James Gunn.
Hello. Welcome to my...
I have so many questions now.
Where's my cameo, CJ?
What's Slither about?
Did Groot die, or is it like the same Groot? Or no.
We're gonna go around the horn and do intros. But first, we are here today because a year ago, CJ, one of our amazing writers, brought the idea to the team of doing a draft of the Suicide Squad cast members. And we'll share the parameters of said draft here in a moment with everyone. There's points, there's whole scorecards involved. And we are the lucky few who raised our hands and said, yes, I will spend time doing this. Minus our dear, dear friend, Kevin Vicconi, who is unfortunately no longer with us at Jackbox HQ, on to his next adventure, but we are remembering him here today because he also is a member of this draft.
Mm-hmm. He is still alive, just to clarify.
He is still very much alive.
Currently in prison and at large, getting assigned a new mission that, if he survives, will secure him his freedom.
That is very true. Very true. So I'm Brooke. I'm the VP of Marketing at Jackbox. Tag Evan.
I'm Evan. I'm the rat catcher here at Jackbox.
Yeah.
Wait, 1, 2, or 3?
I'm rat catcher 1. I'm not in the movie.
I'm sorry.
I'm Ryan. I'm a writer and a director, and something of, I think, the Harley Quinn of The Office. I think we would all agree. I'm very comfortable with my sexuality, and I was great in that I, Tonya movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next. I'm Mike Zuba, VP of Production here, and resident coder. And I would say if I would assign myself any character in the movie, it would be Peacemaker. I think clearly a big fit for me.
I mean, just by BMI index alone. And I am CJ. I'm the writer, and as it says on our website, officially resident cosplayer in my Rick Flag costume. As I am the Rick Flag of this office, tired of your nonsense. Let's get this mission done.
Let's do it. So I'm going to, CJ, perhaps I can pull up our scorecard here, and you can set the table for our fans.
So it was about a year ago when the Suicide Squad, the film, not the film Suicide Squad, the film The Suicide Squad was announced, and all they gave us at first was the actors and the names of the characters. And I thought it would be fun to create a pool based on what we thought would happen in the film. Once again, we had seen nothing. We had seen no trailers, no commercials. We just had a list of actors and characters, and you had to slot them. I figured there's 18 possibilities, and each person got 6. We doubled up, and you had to slot 3 of them as survivors, 2 of them as potential traitors who kill a squad member, and then the one you think was going to die first. You can see the point values for each of those, and then we went around round robin style drafting our picks. I forget the order. But at that time, what I'd like to talk to everybody about is I'm a big Suicide Squad comic book fan. As you can tell by my pitch perfect Rick Flag costume. Rick Flag Jr., Rick Flag Sr. was in the original Suicide Squad, which was a war comic. Don't at me. So I was able to also create bios of each character based on what I knew about them from comic books, not what I knew nothing about what was going to happen in the movie. But what was everybody else's familiarity with Suicide Squad or any of these characters going in? And were there any names that caught your eye?
I was very loosely familiar from the comics. I did not read the Suicide Squad comics, but I knew sort of loosely that it was like the team of B-tier villains. I saw the David Ayer movie, which was not his movie. He's very clear about that now. But I saw that movie, and I knew who Captain Boomerang was and Harley Quinn. But there was definitely some obscure characters in the first movie and definitely in this one that I had knew nothing about, despite being a fan of DC Comics in general.
I knew essentially nothing. I knew Harley Quinn from the animated series, which was probably the last thing I watched that she was in. First thing, yeah, and that's it. And I'm familiar with Will Smith.
Mm-hmm. Not in this film. Not in this film.
No, yeah, okay, but I know of him.
Yeah,
as a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Evan picked Will Smith to die first, which is technically true.
I mean, if he doesn't make it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My familiarity is I really loved the first movie.
Wow.
And that's it. So I know those characters from the very specific roles they played in that movie.
And I read a few Suicide Squad comics in high school and promptly forgot a lot about them and have watched many DC films since. So some of the names are familiar to me, but I had very little origin story behind that.
Anybody seen the Suicide Squad animated film?
No, I want to.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's not bad. And anybody seen the Suicide Squad episode of Justice League, if you saw Batman animated series?
No, I didn't stick with Justice League long
Okay,
enough.
fair enough. Okay. That is how most people recognize them before the film. And that is like basically their imprint on culture. So I did make little bios for each character. And we can just show one or two of those.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I'm going to release all this stuff on my Twitter after this. If you would like to put together your own SCAD. I just realized squad is spelled on that card.
You sure Will Smith isn't? That looks like Will Smith.
No. That was a clip from the previous film.
Okay.
Because once again, when I put this together, I had nothing to work with. So what I did here is I just gave you a description of what the characters like in comic books, what they can do, where they appeared, and then any fun facts that was interesting. Such as Viola Davis is the second person to play Amanda Waller in a live-action DC film. And yeah, so on. What Ryan just said, and so this gave them a brief thing that they could kind of make their guesses about. They could kind of make their picks with some information. But once again, if you just make your picks based on what you know about comic books, that doesn't necessarily mean that you knew what was going to happen in the film at all. But then, yeah, we only filled out our scorecards. There I am.
I just want to show off that CJ did an excellent job with these overviews. It's extremely helpful.
Definitely check out the Twitter drops of these.
Yeah, so I'm going to put it in Twitter. Like I said, if you want to do these with your family and friends, maybe family, people who might not be as interested might be the best bet, because if you watch a ton of trailers, as we're going to talk now, we kind of may have some ideas of how our picks are going. But yeah, so next, do we want to talk about our picks?
Just to real quick reiterate the fact that that you put this together when all we had was those animated title treatments for each character. Like this was the beginning of this was before any real trailer. I think by the time we did our picks, there might have been the very first teaser, but that would have been it. We had the DC featurette was made in between. Oh yeah, that's right. Where it's like James Gunn being like, I've decided to have a squad in Suicide.
CJ, maybe you should give an overview of the wild card before we.
Sorry. Can you bring up the list of characters real fast?
Hang on.
So
1 moment.
In order to do a full 16, in order to make that even with 6 people doing 6 bets twice, it was actually 15 title cards that were released in that one thing by James Gunn and Brian Post DC. So ACM, sorry. So to fill it out, I had to do a wild card slot. And so back in the day, like all the Civil War trailer where later they released that Spider-Man was in it. That was if they announce another DC character is going to be in this film, you may buy a wild card slot and then slot in the wild card. And there are 2 DC characters that can slot in the wild card, which we'll talk about as we go through our picks. But yeah, to make it an even 18.
And that's and I didn't actually realize this either, but Zuba asked this earlier. That wild card is one you have to choose before the movie comes out. It's not just an umbrella term, right? Okay.
And so, yeah, and you two, if you could on camera, pick your wild card today as we go through your cards. I think that'd be very good. I believe Brian and Zuba got the wild cards.
Yeah,
I don't think I did.
already.
Oh, I thought you did.
Maybe Kev. I think Kev might have.
Oh,
Kev might have had a wild card. We'll have to sync up.
So, yeah, do we want to look at everybody's card?
Yes. So here's the scorecard again, just to set the table. Here's the point values awarded to each tier. And first up here is CJ's scorecard itself.
So first off, I'd like to point out the Captain Boomerang costume I'm wearing. That is my wife, who's dressed as Captain Cold. We dressed as a while ago. In our first draft video, I wore the Captain Boomerang costume, and I was going to dig it out now, but I'm a father now, and I put away my Baron Zemo and Captain Boomerang costumes.
Your childish things.
And put it into the more mature Rick Flag costume. I just don't want to dig it out. I'm sorry, everybody. But I have one, which is why I picked him for my card. But for my survivors, two I think are strong are King Shark and Ratcatcher. King Shark seems to be a fan favorite in all of the promo materials, and when we made this card, we did not know he was voiced by Sylvester Stallone. So that's a big name that I drafted without knowing anything. And Ratcatcher seems to be very prominent in it. And Solitaire, not featured heavily in promos, but is an original character, and I'm holding out hope.
Surely they wouldn't invent a new character just to murder
at all. Speaking of people I'm not seeing at all, Captain Boomerang, my favorite costume, not featured a lot. But Captain Boomerang is wildly and famously in Suicide Comics, he does betray people. So I think maybe even if he dies, he might take out a couple people with him as he goes. So I have him as Kyoto Squad member. And Peacemaker looks like he is very dangerous. Happy with that one. I'm pretty happy with Javelin dies first, but I have one or two picks I think might beat him.
Yeah,
shout out to Joshy in the chat. This Jackbox group is the only squad I need in my life.
That's right, Joshy.
Joshy, you're my wild card.
And we're going to live forever.
So which one of us is going to survive and which one of us is going to kill another squad member?
This is my squad. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I have nothing.
I think you had a good card here. I think Javelin dying first is a good one. Yeah, like you said, Salsaria probably the biggest risk on the card.
I think Captain Boomerang is just not going to do much either. It's a favorite character of mine from comic, and I'll let that color my decision. But we'll see. We'll see.
I also read that Peacemaker's getting a spinoff. Yeah. So it feels like.
But a la Black Widow, it might be a prequel.
Fair.
Oh, interesting. That's true. That's a very good point.
Lovely Sugar is very hyping Javelin in chat. Lovely Sugar, we see you.
Yes, you are seeing.
Does not think that my pick is good, though.
Well,
Peacemaker could kill a squad member and then still have a series. It doesn't mean that they would die, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And clearly, there's some strategy to this because you could have made him a survivor, but it's actually you get more points if you get the kill the squad member right. So there's some precedence there.
Yeah, there is a big thing of like Peacemaker does seem like a strong survivor, and it could have been easy points there, but putting him here is a little bit more risky.
Now, Stringer Please, aka Laura from PAX, is asking, does DC do multiverse theory? And I think we should pause for about a couple hours while CJ answers that question.
Okay, it seems pretty obvious in the next Flash movie they're going to do the multiverse because they've already brought in Michael Keaton Batman. So I should bring up this rule, though. This character is dead by the end of the film. So if they come back in like a sequel, doesn't matter for our bet. Like once this movie is
30 years from now, we're not going to revisit our.
No, we're not.
CJ,
I will say
you sound so old. You're only like 60.
We will say
30 years.
If there's a post-credit scene, we'll count it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, that's fair.
I just hope something happens that we have to argue about.
Fair.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we're going to get to that when we get to wild card when it comes to arguments, but. We can move on from my card. All
right. Who's next here? Oh, is it me?
Yes.
It's me. All right. I read a lot of speculative think pieces leading up to this stream today. I do not feel good about Rick Flag surviving.
Interesting.
This. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that opinion, because I'm standing my own choices here, and I want to see Rick Flag pull through and survive. You know, Joel Kinnaman is a star you build a franchise around, right? So I think he can carry this on.
Yeah, hasn't proven true at all any time before this, or that other Suicide Squad movie he did, but...
I've been watching the Apple TV Plus show For All Mankind, which he is the star of.
There you go.
And,
okay.
Then I finally watched the trailers from this, and I was like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
So
that
guy.
He does have one of those faces where you're like, oh, that guy. I've seen that guy.
He is that guy.
He's that guy.
Same with Saul and CJ. Can you pronounce Saul's name?
I can't because the character is original to the film, and I have yet to hear it said out loud. So
Soul.
Soul, I believe, because I believe that's how the name is pronounced.
Soul. Sorry. Yeah. Not in the trailers much, but also I think, that could mean just one of those fly under the radar, makes it through the end, a good filler character to sort of round out the cast. An original character, so maybe someone they want to do more with in the future. I think there's potential. And then Mongal, right? Yeah. Pronunciation
That's
again,
Mongal sounds right. That's going by
I feel
the
like
animated.
Yeah, I feel like Mongal is sort of a fun character that they'd maybe want to keep around. In the trailers a bit, but not also very much. So a little nervous, but same reasoning with Soul, that I think maybe, gonna stick around to. That seems like a character with a fun origin story to play around with.
I mean, if your dad's named Mongol and your name Mongal, we can't end that train too early. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we got to dig into that more. Bloodsport, I feel like, is a pretty good pick for killing someone else. I'm not sure, CJ, how pure are Bloodsport's intentions?
Bloodsport, from what I've seen in the trailer, is pretty, at least the few lines gone, fairly. It seems both kind of accurate to the comic character and also kind of taking the Deadshot role with having a daughter. But has daughter that
has daughter.
So, that's good. Daughter. Has family, and he is heavily featured. I think he kind of made the move where he heavily favored for Survivor, but a little riskier to say kill the squad member.
So my thought with this is maybe Bloodsport is gonna go good or stay true to the mission and have to take someone else
bad
out.
Squad member.
Yeah. And Idris Elba, they're gonna give Idris Elba some big moments in there, and that could be his big moment. And then King Shark, I think, is personally a great pick for kills a squad member.
Solid. Yeah. Great pick.
That's good. It's really
that
good.
Shark's gonna get hungry. I believe in the trailer.
That's the whole tagline.
That shark gonna get hungry.
Yeah.
Possibly for the next Jackbox game slogan.
How are we putting specific parameters around part of the official Suicide Squad versus some kind of a villain, or just anybody in the movie?
So it has to kill a squad member. It can't kill a random person. It has to be somebody who's in the Suicide Squad. AKA one of the other people on this list.
Oh, so if we discover when we watch the movie that there's another member of the squad we didn't know about, that person dying doesn't count.
I'll tell you what, if they are officially enlisted by Amanda Waller's giving them orders, I'll let it go.
Okay.
Again, I think King Shark getting a lot of love in the trailers.
Yeah.
And they kind of exhibit that king shark maybe isn't the smartest shark in the pond. So I think even could just get hungry and chomp on whoever's nearest.
Shark in a pond is tough.
That's hard.
Shark.
It is one of the best picks for non-aggressively kills a squad member, with no malice.
Right.
King
exactly.
Shark is your real franchise star. Forget Joel Kinnaman. I could see King Shark doing rom-coms. King Shark doing action adventure with Vin Diesel.
Yeah. He could be on the moon.
The adult animated comedy series.
Yeah. King Shark has a lot of anxieties. He's a therapist. That's a whole long-running drama.
And a quirky roommate.
Which is basically his role in the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah.
And then dies first. So, I mean, Polka Dot Man said that he wants to die in the trailer. So that's a 1 for me. But I lose 1 because I think Polka Dot Man is going to be used a lot in the film. So I think Polka Dot Man's going to at least make it to the end. But I do think Polka Dot Man will not survive. That's my prediction.
Fair.
This was a really good pick when we started, and as we see more trailers, it's becoming more questionable.
Yeah,
I'm really...
When you had nothing but comic book experience to go by. Yeah. It was a solid pick, but the trailers do make it look... This is like you picked a good quarterback, and then there's a medical report coming out about a broken leg, and you're like, ooh.
I picked this quarterback because he told me he wanted to die, and now he's living.
Damn it. So overall, I think I'm going to get some points in here, but I don't feel great about my overall chances.
Don't give up yet. I think the rest of your card is strong. Although I have to say that Zach in the chat did just say King Shark's definitely a ladies' man because every girl crazy about a shark-dressed man.
Very good, very good.
I think that is very good.
Mr. Play and See has said they need to take Starro into account, and we're going to talk about that in the wild card section. So,
all right. So, well, next up we have Ryan's squad.
All right. So I don't think I have any locks in here, but I also got a bunch of people I was trying to get. Got some people who I wasn't able to get, and I had to fill them in as best I could. But Harley Quinn surviving, that's the coveted one. I think we all tried to jump on.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to kill her. I think it's not the most valuable square in the board, but I think it's a pretty much a lock.
Yeah, it's a lock for survival. You could have slotted to kill the squad member, but I think that's a safer bet.
I think now that I've seen a little more material, I could have easily slotted her into kills a squad member because I have a theory. About that. I don't know. Should I tell a theory? And theories aren't spoilers, right?
If it's a wild theory.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll get to that in a second. But Mongal was definitely one where I wasn't fully that wasn't a top pick. But then based on what was available, I was like, well, I'm seeing a decent amount of her in the trailer, the one teaser we had. And I haven't seen much of her since. But seems like a good contender to, I don't know, be a weird character they keep around. We'll see. Boomerang, strong contender for Survivor. When we started this list, the more I see, the more I wonder if there's a early Suicide Squad in this movie that doesn't make it back, and Boomerang's part of that one.
To your point, I do want to say that it does look like there is an early Suicide Squad that gets taken out. I am waiting for one of those members to survive. The second team to come across them. So I think any one of them could be that role. Kevin Lynch gives it a strong choice. If you just go by comics, both Rick Flag and Captain Boomerang usually survive every mission.
Yeah.
Doesn't look that
Usually.
Usually.
20% of the missions, they just survive just fine.
Yeah. You're back.
To your point, CJ, I noticed in some later material, you have Javelin at the in the beginning-ish looking parts, and then later in the movie you have Harley Quinn with a Javelin.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, Harley Quinn may end up killing Javelin, or Javelin kills a squad member and they get revenge. So having already used Harley and a lock on the Survivor, I put Javelin here thinking there's going to be some revenge to be had. Or, other way to look at it, Javelin dies, they come across the Javelin, Harley Quinn just picks it up. But Javelin's not leaving his Javelin if he survived. So, I don't know. And then Weasel definitely feels like he's going to kill somebody. Although King Shark in the later stuff has taken on that manic spot, right?
Yeah.
It could be the whole joke of Weasel is that he's extremely not going to kill somebody. Although I think the later, most recent trailer was like he's killed 40 people. So
yeah,
a better chance.
See, I think King Shark would kill someone by accident or like maybe without malicious intent. But Weasel, like even in the name, it sort of implies that there's, you know, some sneaky sort of malicious undertones.
I think you even said in our first draft that the name Weasel implies backstabbing that you were really counting on.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Maybe I have left myself a message from the past when I didn't remember why I did any of this. And now it's going to pay off. And then for Dies First, TDK, I think that is obviously a ridiculous character. His limbs come off. Later marketing material, I'm seeing more of him than I thought, but not much more. So I think it's still possible, but he does seem like the joke character that you kill. But now I'm wondering if there are other better choices for that slot. But I'm working with what I got, and I think it's still probably going to be a decent roll of the dice.
Some of that marketing could just be name recognition too.
Yeah.
People know who he is.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that Nathan Fillion heat.
Yeah.
True.
Well, you actually bring up an interesting point that Weasel is played by Sean Gunn and TDK is played by Nathan Fillion. That the idea of like we didn't know anything we were doing this, so we could just go by James Gunn's favorite actors. And like, will he love them or will he not feel bad killing them in 2 minutes? Because, you know, he'll get them another paycheck elsewhere.
Yeah. Right. It would be really funny to kill Nathan Fillion, and that's what I'm counting on.
Right. I don't expect him to kill his brother off immediately in the movie, but we'll see. Maybe.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Right.
I think I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, all things considered.
Harley Quinn, solid choice. Javelin's an interesting thing, and like you said, Captain Boomerang. If there is a survivor of the first squad, is a good. That's usually Captain Boomerang's thought in comics. Is they're surprised that he made it. He's a boomerang. He always comes back when you think he's gone.
Oh.
I was saving that. I'm glad I hit it. Well, it's a good.
I mean, at this point, I think I'd like to say that I'd like to say that I had that level of theorizing, but I think it was more just, well, they brought him back from he's one of the 3 people they brought back from the movie they're disowning, you know, 4. Yeah. Anyway.
I also like the comment from Sky from Animal Crossing in our comments. Stop imagining this is not role models.
Sorry.
The idea that a Jackbox game of slotting pop culture names based on personality is pretty good.
Hey, you could play role models as your favorite Suicide Squad team members. We've done similar things on the stream.
I'd be so sassy.
I like the TDK Dies First pick. That
is pretty strong.
I think it's good.
Okay.
I was watching the Olympics with my kids, and this commercial for Suicide Squad came on, and it was followed by at least 8,000 questions that I could answer. But I told them about TDK, and one of my kids laughed so hard he peed his pants. It's just the mere idea of that character.
It's great. It's really good.
Yep.
So you kind of played yourself with that one, Evan, because I'm sure you had some cleanup to do.
I mean, no more than normal.
And then Evan called me in a cold sweat asking me to talk to his kid.
Yeah. What do I tell them?
All right.
They're bad guys, but there are badder guys, and the bad guys are fighting badder guys.
Well, it's like Black Ops, you know?
Kids, let me explain wet work. What you do.
Exactly. Let me talk about the bloodstained history of America.
Let's turn these Olympics off, actually.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
Let's see, who's next? Oh.
Hey.
All right.
Whoa.
That great pick.
For starters, I have TDK also as my Dies First.
Yeah.
It seems like a slam dunk, but obviously there's going to be a lot of people that die, and anybody could die first, so it's kind of a toss-up, but it seems like a solid choice. So I'll go from there. Kills his squad member. I had Amanda Waller, which she's the one in control of the briefcase. It seems like that's a pretty solid choice, unless they pull some crazy twist and kill her off early somehow. But
Yeah,
I doubt it. I doubt it.
That's a strong
That's
choice.
a strong choice. Like,
yeah, I can't believe
I
that.
guess if you're unfamiliar with the Suicide Squad, I did make this note in the character bio that the Suicide Squad, to keep the villains in line, they have bombs in their necks to keep them from going like AWOL or turning traitor. And Amanda Waller is the one who can set off those bombs. So that is why that is a strong choice for that slot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And then my other squad member for that is the Thinker, which I think this is another point we should bring up. The Thinker has the ability to control people with his mind, in theory. And so even if he's not physically the one committing the killing, if he's sort of controlling it, it still gets credit, right? Is that the
We need to talk about this briefly, and you're our first wild card slot, so we'll bring this up now. The Thinker and one of the wild cards revealed in the trailer that we did not know when we announced this draft, when we did our draft. It looks like one of the villains, if not the villain, is Starro. Starro, a large alien starfish who's might just be a giant starfish from the trailers. I haven't seen Starro Jones, but in comics can attach spores of itself to your face and take control of you. So I think we said in the original draft that if the Thinker possesses somebody, or I guess if Starro takes control of that, and that body kills somebody, does the kill go to the Thinker and Starro, or the body that does it?
Well, first of all, is Starro's not a member of the Suicide Squad. We have to take that into account, right?
Right. So if you kill Starro, that's not killing a squad member. But Starro can kill a squad member.
I think the kill will go to both.
I agree.
If Starro or the Thinker,
we'll double up the points.
Yeah.
If they make you kill somebody, then both people did it.
Okay.
And that's something you're going to have to accept, CJ, despite all of your saying that it wasn't your fault about all those people you know.
So say Starro possesses Captain Boomerang and kills him with the boomerang. The points go to both Captain Boomerang and Starro. Or if the Thinker possesses Javelin, then points go to both Javelin and the Thinker.
I think so. Although in your first example, it sounded like Boomerang was killing himself, which I'm not sure we should count as killing a squad.
No.
Why not?
Yeah, that counts as killing a squad member.
I mean, they would have to be some kind of Suicide Squad for that.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about the Thinker then.
Okay.
And from there, Calendar Man was my wild card, which I believe you already talked about.
So no, we haven't yet. This is the other wild card.
Okay.
The two DC characters, and I said it had to be a DC character announced. I'm not doing like the technicians in the room. The two DC characters announced since this event has been Starro, which is big in the trailers. You've seen them. They built a giant Starro. However, when doing research for this final stream, I found that Calendar Man is also in this movie, and Calendar Man is being played by Sean Gunn, who is also playing Weasel. But he's definitely in it. I saw the picture. And so this leads me to, now, famously, Sean Gunn is in both Guardians of the Galaxy as the assistant Ravager, but he also did the motion capture for Rocket Raccoon. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's kind of the same thing, that he is the motion capture for Weasel, but he's actually playing Calendar Man.
Yeah, I lean towards thinking you're right, because as you were saying before we started, Weasel doesn't seem to talk.
Doesn't seem to talk. So that's, once again, putting that Sean Gunn, James Gunn not killing his brother, because once again, Sean Gunn has survived 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Extremely surprising.
Well, because the Calendar Man seems like a random trailer cameo at this point, my guess is it's a random cameo. He's not really in the movie.
Very interesting.
And such. He's going to survive at the end. But by the end of the movie, he will still be alive because he's really not part of it other than maybe one shot. So that's my thinking there.
That makes a lot of sense in that slot, because the other one would be Starro, and odds are they're going to try and kill Starro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
One would hope.
For the sake of our nation.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Starro just convinces them all to join his side. And
that's true. And then he wins.
Yeah.
Oh, sort of anticlimactic, but okay.
Nice, yeah, thorough.
But that's how the Suicide Squad can survive and go on to do their dastardly deeds.
What if nobody dies in this movie?
Okay, I do want to point out that I thought about doing this card with the first Suicide Squad movie, and I would have been greatly disappointed because there was not a lot of deaths in that movie.
Just that one.
Yeah. Everything I hear is that there's just like, there's so many people die. So many people die. And I almost wonder if we should have switched the survivors and the kills the squad member ranks on this. Because there might be more people that die than actually survive.
I mean, I think there'll be more people who die than survive, but are there going to be more people who survive? Are there going to be more people who kill fellow squad members than survive is the question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Will Smith is going to kill like a squad member, though.
Evan? Okay. Evan.
Boy.
He's a beloved figure in American cinema.
Yeah, he wouldn't sign on to that.
He has daughter.
Yep.
He has
daughter.
He has daughter.
He is a bald shooting man with a daughter. They could never get anyone else to play that. Oh, wait.
I has daughter.
Oh. Okay.
I have a son, so I can kill whoever I want.
Yeah.
Again.
Not me.
Again.
No, I can't kill you. That's true. Okay, so let's keep going with you.
Yeah. So Savant, I have on there based on the fact that he's being played by Michael Rooker, who died in Guardians of the Galaxy, another James Gunn movie, and I'm hoping that James Gunn is going to throw him a bone here and not kill him in this one too.
Or at the very least, kill him in the sequel again. That's
there you go.
Yeah. That's where Michael Rooker's really lives.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I forgot about Savant, actually.
Yeah, Savant featured pretty good in one of the trailers, too. Mm-hmm. Although he is on the first team, but he might be the one that makes it with the Michael Rooker. And also, I want to point out, Savant, original character created by Gail Simone. Gail Simone, big fan of Jackbox games, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, beloved.
To your point, I feel like, let's say you're making that first team. Let's say most of them don't survive. Mm-hmm. We have almost exclusively sort of comedic-y, jokey actors and characters. Who are you going to have survive so they can tell the horrible tale? Well, you give that to Michael Rooker. That's going to be his big showstopper.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good guess.
And then finally,
I was just going to say, I also read an interview where James Gunn regretted having to kill off Michael Rooker. So this is maybe an opportunity for him to keep him around.
Or he's going to die first.
Yeah.
Or the streak continues.
To be fair, he did kill Michael Rooker in Slither, too. So this could be the threefer.
Yeah. I'm regretting my choice already. And then finally, Rick Flag, who, as Brooke kind of alluded to, I also don't feel great about. Although, trying to place him anywhere on this chart, I kind of had trouble with it because I don't think he's going to die first. I think he'll probably die somewhere in the movie. I'm hoping it's going to be like the heroic, he saves the squad and then they rally together and save the day on his behalf kind of a thing. So it's going to be they're going to make a big deal about that, and it's going to be kind of in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
But so I don't think he's going to survive. I don't think he's going to die first. And I kind of don't think he's going to kill a squad member either. So he's kind of feels like an odd choice for any of these spots to me. So I had to put him somewhere.
That is tough.
Terrible pick.
Could be, once again, Rick Flag survives every Suicide Squad mission. You know, like in comics, he is the main character of Suicide Squad. Yeah. But in films, they could do anything and subvert expectations.
Yeah.
We asked me to quickly update what we're talking about. We last year did a quick poll for who we thought was going to survive in the movie.
Started from the top.
And we are discussing our choices since the film is coming out this Friday. This is not a Jackbox game. This is a game Jackbox employees are playing.
Indeed.
When we should be making games.
Yeah, this is, Oh, we will not be delivering Jackbox Part Pack 8 because we're doing this instead.
That's going to be pushed a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
That is a lie.
All right, fine. Sorry, marketing.
You heard it here first. No Party Pack 8.
Visit jackboxgames.com to learn more. Visit our blog.
We're quitting video games.
No.
If Rick Flag dies, no party packing.
Yeah.
Your move, James Gunn.
Yeah. What if he came out right away and he was like, "Oh no, I only have a certain amount of time to re-edit the movie. I didn't know the stakes were so high. Gotta play draw animate."
All right.
Good, though, but like,
should we move
Amanda
on?
Waller's super strong. The detachable kid dies first, strong. I think you're very smart with Calendar Man in that position too, and the think is really interesting. It's a pretty good card.
I think this is the best card we've seen, in my opinion.
I agree.
So let's move on to another one.
Ooh.
Oh, look at
this.
It's terrible.
Here we are. We got some mustache-laden photos in this.
Because you look exactly like the comic book Deadshot. You just got to look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Will Smith?
Yeah, but in comics, he's more of a swashbuckler. He was originally introduced as like a swashbuckling highwayman, and you got the look down right there.
Yeah, people mistake me for Will Smith all the time. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
But you didn't put Will Smith on your card. Who did you put on your card?
No, I didn't. Well, let's go through it. My survivors, I think, are all pretty weak. I think there's a good chance all of my survivors die, but who knows? I don't know because I don't know anything about this. And every time we talk about this, CJ, you reassure me that Polka Dot Man is a good pick. So I've started to feel better about it. And watching the trailers, he's definitely in it a lot.
Yeah.
But that might just lead to a more dramatic death.
Fair.
Weasel, feels very killable. Ratcatcher 2, the best argument I saw in an article on Polygon about not killing Ratcatcher 2 is because what are they going to do? Have a Ratcatcher 3? So it is a good point. But aside from the survivors, I feel really good about the rest. Amanda Waller, my first pick, feels like almost a sure thing to kill a squad member. And Peacemaker seems like he's trouble and doesn't take no guff. So I could see him killing a squad member too.
I think you have the strongest kills a squad member section.
It's good.
Yeah.
And Tommy's first, I'm happy about too. I think Benjamin Kane in the chat, or who said? Someone said that Pete Davidson is going to get killed off early, and that was why I picked Blackguard, knowing nothing about the character, but just imagining that a lot of people would enjoy seeing Pete Davidson get killed off in a movie quickly.
Yeah, that's why you cast him.
Pete Davidson, the Quiplash movie?
Pete Davidson.
Well, it's a good thing we're not making any more Jackbox party packs, so we don't have to worry about that.
Blackguard also has like 3 comic book appearances. So, like, it is also a character that is not heavily featured in comics. Booster Gold villain.
What?
He's a Booster Gold villain.
Oh.
So
I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
And therein lies the issue.
But he's also not in very much of the trailers that have been released so far. So, I'm excited to see what happens.
Your bottom half card is great, and those are the bigger points.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a card this good since Mike Zuba's card.
Not mine?
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So Evan's got a strong card.
I think Ratcatcher 2 is a strong survivor too. Yeah, you got a good one.
Yeah, she has been in. It looks like she's in the trailers a lot.
Feels like she could. Both Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher 2 seem to be like villains with like kind of weird powers who may become like the heart of the film in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
What is Polka Dot Man?
Can you explain Rat?
Wait, did you both ask me to explain the 2 characters? Gladly.
Yeah. Can you explain Polka Dot Man, and then can you explain Rat?
I'll explain both.
And then explain Ratcatcher 2.
Great.
And then Weasel, Peacemaker, Blackguard, and Amanda Waller.
Okay, real fast.
Yes, please.
Polka Dot Man is a Silver Age Batman villain, basically when all they had was a gimmick and then would bedevil Batman. And his was polka dots, and he had a suit that had weaponized polka dots. In later incarnations of polka dots...
Wait. You got to tell me what weaponized polka dots means.
So you know how...
come now, Ryan.
You know how, like, with, like, Captain Boomerang and, like, Hawkeye, it's like they do this one weapon, but each one does something different?
Yes.
So, like, that's it. It's like, well, this polka dot explodes, or this polka dot is sticky, or this polka dot can teleport you, or this, like, they were each a different kind of weapon based on color.
Did he make them?
Yes, it was a suit, and I believe his original name was Mr. Polka Dot. So kind of a more 60s Batman kind of thing.
Until he was like, Mr. Polka Dot's my father.
That's Mr. Polka Dot to
Call me
you.
Polka Dot Man.
But through his genius, like, he invented polka dots that could teleport you.
Yes, he is very smart. He's a scientist. However, even in later roles, his goal was that he was kind of a joke character and would often be the one like Batman beats up in the first 2 pages of a comic on his way to the real threat. So like his status as a joke character is even in the comics. And that's basically it as far as we know going forward. Ratcatcher is a Bronze Age Batman villain who is basically based on the movie Willard. It is a man in the comics who just like lives in the sewer, trains rats at his beck and call. Ratcatcher 2, and this was in promotion, is his daughter. So that she is rat girl, as it were. But yeah,
I had to throw a shout out to Rat Boy, the Jackbox Party Club's favorite movie.
So basically, though, is that she wears.
Wouldn't Ratman be better?
Ratcatcher, because originally he was an exterminator that actually eventually sided with the rats.
I mean, that is a fun premise. If you're like,
that is why
the bad guy.
Famously they wear the gas mask and they sometimes equip themselves with poison sprays as a weapon.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I guess I thought the difference between Polka Dot Man and I think the Spot from Marvel was the teleportation aspect. It seems like they both do basically the same thing.
Well, the Spot is only teleporting polka dots. Usually, like...
Weak.
It's just black dots, but Polka Dot Man famously multicolored. Each color does something different.
Okay, then you're right. He's a better character.
Famously, Polka Dot Man actually has one spot that he grows to large size and flies upon, like a UFO.
Nice.
Yes, I hope that.
How did he make that?
He's a genius.
It's enough to patent his technology, apparently.
Yeah, that sounds like a really... It sounds like he could avoid a life of crime.
You know who would like that technology is Bruce Wayne. He's into a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Will
Smith could make that into a movie.
Final card, right? Is who?
Final card, and
Polka
is our buddy Kev's card.
In that?
Are you watching, Kev?
I love that we added a big fake smile. He was already dressed as the Joker. It didn't need an extra.
I know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, look at this. He also got Blackguard dies first, just like you, Evan. So
yeah.
That's a strong pick. He's got a Harley Quinn as a survivor. Favorite. He's got Bloodsport as survivor. That's pretty good. Thinker's survivor, a little rougher. And then he's got the other wild card. If he's watching between Calendar Man and Starro, I don't know who I would slot in that position.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should give him Starro because Zuba took Calendar Man.
Okay, yeah, we'll give him Starro on that spot. That's fair.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty strong that Starro is going to kill one of the characters.
Truly, Kev's card looks to be maybe one of the strongest.
Yeah. Bloodsport, Harley Quinn is survivors. Yeah, Starro kill. Blackguard is first. Yeah, they're pretty strong.
Yeah.
He's a real Joker.
He's always getting you.
Yeah. He's a dog, chasing cars.
The Clown Prince of the Office.
Sadly, hoping he survives that mission. And those are our cards. What do you think?
Those are
what
our
do you think,
picks.
Chad? Who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, who are your picks?
Who are your picks for the Jackbox squad to come out of this ahead? a la a game of role models. Who's the survivor? Who's the traitor?
Oh, sounds like Smosh did some Suicide Squad content.
Ooh,
Our good
love
friend
it.
Smosh.
Yeah.
Who are helping us reveal the first playthrough of Job
Ooh.
next week.
Woo!
I'm a big
Yeah.
Smosh fan. I like their
Ooh.
try not to laugh stuff. It's such a played out format, but the way they do it makes me laugh. Here I am laughing now. I know they did it.
They did it.
All right. So, and if you would like to do your own Suicide Squad, I'm going to put this up on Twitter after this stream and everything we did, and I'll even put up our cards so you can see what we did.
Now, the one with the fewest points has to leave
Oh,
Jackbox
yeah.
forever, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And the one with the most points gets to be with Jackbox forever.
Oh yeah,
Must be with Jackbox forever.
Yeah, even Mike Builder can't fire you.
Yeah.
There will be a bomb implanted in the neck or in the head.
It will be a bomb core bomb, just so the branding is consistent.
But I can't see to disable it.
I know.
It would be nice if we had some sort of prize. It would be a good
Yeah.
prize.
Okay.
A mint condition. I don't know. Suicide Squad #1.
Wow, I'll take it. I have.
How much
I have the first John Ostrander 1980s Suicide Squad. I picked it up at a con a while ago. But
How
I don't
much
have
is that worth?
It's not much. It was during a tie-in with Invasion, so it's actually kind of very popular. And at that time, people were buying comics a lot. So it's not like a real old comic that are rare.
Yeah.
If I could get it
That's
signed by Ostrander, I would, but that's it.
But there's the restraining order.
Yeah, no. A lot of comic traders do not want to hear from me anymore. I explained Polka Dot Man to them for far too long.
They're like, we get it.
But there's a big one. He flies on it.
I know. I've written the character.
I wrote that. I love the idea of CJ explaining how superheroes work to the people who created the superheroes.
Can I introduce you to Twitter? Because that's happening all the time.
Yeah, the people over there explaining basic movie making to James Gunn. On
Yeah.
Right. I should never underestimate Twitter.
And James Gunn, if you're listening, if you could quickly change the film to make my card more valuable, that'd be really helpful.
Same.
Yeah.
I will. Perhaps there could be a free drawful in it for you.
Oh, wink, wink.
And James Gunn's like, but you gave that one away for free.
Quiet.
Drawful 1. We'll give you Drawful 1.
What?
Yeah.
Signed
I
by
don't even
John
understand.
Ostrander. Well, thank you very much, Brooke, for putting this together.
Yeah, are we gonna do a recap award
thank
show
you.
after the weekend? And
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah,
follow up.
we'll do a short stream sometime, just kind of revisiting everything
Maybe
together.
give people a week so that they can see the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be on vacation, so I don't know if I'll...
Yeah, so we'll do it. Everyone's got a few weeks
Yeah.
to watch the movie.
Free.
Maybe I'll watch it with my young children who will,
Yeah, no, don't.
who are desperately curious about it.
No. It will be on HBO Max, people, so enjoy it. Stay to your home if you want.
Man,
All
I'm
right.
excited.
All right.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so CJ's gonna tweet out these slides, and we'll retweet them from the Jackbox account, so you can check them out, and then get CJ a follow. Say thank you for putting this together if you choose to use it with your friends, and then beyond that, we'll see you guys in a few weeks when we recap this.
Does the Suicide Squad have like a rallying cry? Like Avengers Assemble?
Everyone has to do their what they think the rallying cry is.
Okay, going in the order we introduced ourselves.
Just do it all at the
Yes,
same time?
I'll go first. Oh. No, I think one at a time. I'll go first. Yay, death!
Okay. I'm Will Smith, and I'm so glad there's a movie about me, finally!
Yeah.
That's why they cut him. He kept saying his own name in the movie. I'm sure I'm pointing this gun the right way. Whoa!
All right. Don't die first.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Yay!
Draw your
That's the
cards and
best
see who you suicide with.
Oh.
there would be a pun.
Wait,
think-
I have one
okay.
more. Has daughter.
Has daughter.
Has daughter.
Yes, daughter. There it is. That's the one.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Brooke. I'm glad you came back around
Yeah.
to you.
Let's go around a couple more
Oh,
times though, because
You're gonna get this.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Visit jackboxgames.com for content about our games that we make.
You gamify everything,
And
even movies.
we'll be back again tomorrow with the Jackbox Party Club at 3:30 Central. Follow us on Twitter at Jackbox Games to see those Suicide Squad slides coming soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, everybody. Hand